movies, Hankster here, and welcome to another movie review. And today's movie review is none other than Transformers 4, Age of Extinction, starring Mark Wahlberg and Kelsey Grammer, and featuring the voices of Peter Cullen, John Goodman, Ken Watanabe, and Frank Welker as Galvatron. Now, I do want to apologize for the lateness of this particular video. I know that the actual movie came out about a month ago, and I myself went to see it about a little over a week later. Sorry it just took me this long just to do the review, but here it is. Basically, the events of this movie takes place about 5 years after what happened in Dark of the Moon. And, of course, at this time, both Autobots and Decepticons are being hunted down, even though the public only thinks that the Decepticons are being hunted down, but all Transformers are being hunted by a elite group from the CIA. And, of course, they're not the only ones hunting them down. They're also being sought after by a mysterious Decepticon bounty hunter known as Lockdown. Now, of course, you might remember him from Transformers Animated. Of course, he was a bounty hunter in that series, but they decided to bring him into this series for appropriate reasons. Now, of course, he has connections to another mysterious force from space, and they're referred to as the creators of the Transformers. Now, of course, if you are a G1 fan, you might remember who originally created the Transformers, as, of course, the Quintessons. But the only reference that we actually see of these beings is at the beginning of the movie, where they arrive to Earth and somehow bring along the extinction of the dinosaurs. And all we do see of any physical appearance of them is an arm activating some sort of device. But we probably won't find out more about them until the fifth movie, when that comes out in the near future. Now, of course, as I said, the Autobots are also being hunted down, and Optimus Prime is no worse for wear when he is found by a junk collector / robotics maker, played by Mark Wahlberg. He, of course, has his own farm in Texas, and he is, of course, a single father trying to raise his teenage daughter the best he can. He, of course, collects things and tries to either repair them or sell them so that he can make some money to keep going. Of course, when he finds Optimus Prime is in his original truck form that you might have seen from Generation 1, the type of semi-truck, by the way. But, of course, when he starts working on him, he, of course, finds that this is no ordinary semi-truck, and does his best to repair Optimus before the CIA guys find him. Of course, in being found, the CIA guys wind up blowing up everything, and everybody is out on the run. Of course, we do find that there are other Autobots that, of course, Optimus finds, which includes, of course, Hound, played by John Goodman. John Goodman's conversion of this character is pretty interesting. Now, of course, I've heard a lot of people comparing this version of Hound to Broadside from both Animated and Prime. I kind of agree there, but he also kind of reminds me of Rhinox from Beast Wars, especially when it comes to weapons. Of course, we also meet up with Drift, voiced by Ken Watanabe. Of course, you remember he was in Godzilla earlier this year. Of course, not really mentioned in the movie about his origin, but remember he is a Decepticon that switched sides to join the Autobots, and he is kind of represented as a sort of, he looks like a blue samurai warrior. He's sort of taken in a lot of Japanese or ancient Japanese visage, and of course even refers to Optimus as sensei, the Japanese word for teacher. Of course, there's a third new Autobot. I forgot his name offhand, but he looks looks pretty funky in robot mode. He even his robot mode even sports a sort of a trench coat appearance, even though he's green. Of course, we are reunited with Bumblebee as well. He's got his own new vehicle mode. I don't think he really likes it. And unlike his Prime counterpart, he is still voiceless. They of course find out that these Transformer hunters are basically also not only just working for the American government, also taking what they find back to a robotics company in Chicago. No surprise there. And these robotic people try to replicate Transformer technology and even up to the metal that they're made out of, to create new versions of Transformers. Of course, they also get a hold of the remains of Megatron and try to rebuild him as Galvatron. Unbeknownst to them, Megatron, of course, is basically running the whole show to get a new body and try to resurrect his Decepticon forces. Of course, the CIA guys are being run by Kelsey Grammer's character. He's the lead human villain of the series, of this particular movie, and he basically all he just wants to do is make a better place, but of course he does it in the wrong way. The Autobots, of course, then attack the Chicago plant, and of course they meet up with these new Decepticons, which of course have a very interesting way of transformation. As opposed to moving parts in their vehicle mode, they sort of transform fluidly. They kind of fly through the air between vehicle and robot mode, which is pretty weird, but interesting. Of course, Optimus winds up getting captured by Lockdown, who of course joins the fray, and he is imprisoned along with other powerful Autobots who come into play later on. Of course, the other Autobots decide to rescue him in the way of separating one part of Lockdown's ship from the other, which is pretty interesting. Lockdown didn't realize that what was going on until he was light years away from Earth. Of course, when they find out that Megatron has become Galvatron, and he is, of course, actually in control, and of course they've also acquired a device that could help him better, not just to resurrect the Decepticons, but also to kill off some humans in the same time, in the biggest city, which of course would be Hong Kong, which was the other place where this robotics company is running. They, of course, head off to Hong Kong to try to prevent Galvatron getting his hands on the device in question. When they arrive there, of course, Optimus meets up with the other captured Autobots and discover that these are Dinobots, led by Grimlock. And, of course, after a massive honor battle between Prime and Grimlock, the Dinobots join forces with the Autobots and pretty much saves the day. All in all, of course, it does leave things open for Transformers 5. It's already been reported they're going to be doing a 5th movie. So that's pretty good there. The movie itself, really good. I really didn't expect it to be that long. I really didn't know it was going to be like almost 3 hours. But it was worth it. It got you going into the plot and everything, so it wasn't hurtful there. The special effects was fantastic once again. Basically, as I said, Kelsey Grammer is the real bad guy in the movie. Even the head of this robotics company is not really a bad guy. He just wants to make the world better through robotics, and but he realizes that he might be doing the wrong thing and kind of switches sides to join up with Mark Wahlberg and the Autobots. Also want to say between Mark Wahlberg and Shia LaBeouf, definitely Mark Wahlberg is the better actor of the two. He didn't yell and scream and cower and everything like that like Shia's character did. He kind of stood up for himself better. Didn't scream like a girl and all. But he was pretty good. Hopefully he'll be back. It's interesting. It's interesting too that I think this is the second movie that he's worked with. The director of this movie, and it's interesting. He worked with The Rock in the other movie, and The Rock himself, of course, appeared as the voice of a Transformer in the series premiere of Transformers Prime. So, Michael Bay, of course, would have been interesting to see The Rock in this movie, one form or another, either human or Transformer. But, they did pretty good with what they got. And, of course, as I said, Frank Welker returns in his first movie appearance as Galvatron. Now, of course, my major question going into this movie was, how is he going to play Galvatron's voice? Was he going to do Megatron? Was he going to do a new voice? Or was he going to do what he did for Season 3 of Transformers when he took over the role of Galvatron from Leonard Nimoy? Leonard Nimoy, of course, played Galvatron in the original animated movie in 1986. But when they started Season 3, Frank Welker took over as the voice of Galvatron. Now, it might be a little bit of a spoiler here if you people haven't seen it yet, but Frank Welker does play Megatron's voice as opposed to Galvatron's voice for this movie. Now, of course, if you remember, there was another actor who played Megatron in the other movies, so I guess it kind of makes sense, but it would have been interesting if he just did Galvatron's voice, the Galvatron version for this movie. But we'll have to see when it comes to Part 5, hopefully coming out soon. But if it's still out in theaters where you're at, go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Of course, probably in another couple months, it'll be out on DVD just in time for the holidays. Of course, we'll still be doing collectible reviews for this movie pretty soon. Hopefully, I'll get a hold of some more Transformers. I'm still thinking of doing a rant involving how many people complain about how Michael Bay does his Transformer movies and all, but let's keep an eye out for that. Now, of course, we are going to be coming up with another movie review, and that, of course, is for Hercules, starring, of course, once again, The Rock. And, of course, I myself, Hankster, am not going to do that particular review. That's going to be given to D-Generation Hanks because, as you know, The Rock is a wrestler, and, D. Hanks is mostly the one who does all the wrestling tie-in reviews there. So I hope you enjoy this review, and stay tuned for more reviews and whatnot here on the Multiverse.